When Sir Alex Ferguson took over as the manager at Manchester United on the 6th of November 86, the club were struggling. Second from bottom in the old First Division and seriously low on confidence. Just 2 days later, his first league game in charge ended in a 2-0 loss to Oxford United. But that was just the beginning of what turned into one of the most legendary managerial runs in football. 13 league titles, 2 European Cups, and a mountain of unforgettable moments. Here's a look at the very first starting 11 that he picked, and here's where they ended up. Chris Turner. Brought in 1985, Turner was between the sticks for Fergie's debut. He only lasted another season or so before moving on to Sheffield Wednesday and eventually drifted into lower league football. He managed Leyton Orient, Hartlepool United twice, Sheffield Wednesday, and Stockport County. These days, he's mostly out of the spotlight, but still pops up at the odd Man United Legends event. Mike Duxbury. A calm and composed fullback who'd already been at the club for over a decade when Ferguson arrived. He left for Blackburn and finished his career with a few more lower league spells. Since his retirement from playing, Mike moved into coaching. He worked with the Manchester United Soccer Schools programme in Hong Kong and Dubai, and he also coached football and taught physical education at schools in Bolton. Arthur Albistston. One of the longest serving players in the squad at that time, a real mainstay through several managers. He moved on in 1988 and had spells at West Brom, Dundee and Bolton before hanging up his boots. After retiring, Albiston managed Droylsden, coached at Man United's academy, and worked as a radio and TV match summariser, most notably for MUTV, covering the club's reserve and youth games. Kevin Moran. He was a hard-tackling, no-nonsense defender who gave his all, and famously became the first player sent off in an FA Cup final. He left Man United in 1988 for a spell in Spain, before coming back to play for Blackburn. After retiring from football, Kevin Moran went into business, co-founding the sports agency Proactive Sports Management in 1994. He represented players like John O'Shea and Steve Finnan and also worked as a TV pundit. He's also involved with the Sports Surgery Clinic in Santry, founded by his brother Ray, a well-known knee specialist nicknamed Dr. Cruciate. Paul McGrath. One of the most naturally gifted defenders to ever play for the club, even if injuries and personal struggles held him back. He left for Aston Villa, where he became a club legend and even won the PFA Player of the Year in 1993. McGrath has openly struggled with alcoholism throughout his career and life, even admitting to playing under the influence alongside enduring serious knee injuries that required 8 operations. Since retiring, he stayed in the public eye through coaching roles, charity work, and a music release. Graeme Hoge. A tough, no-frills defender who filled in alongside McGrath for that Oxford game. He stuck around until 1990 before heading off to Portsmouth and eventually the Scottish leagues. Now he keeps a low profile and is rarely seen in the media or football circles. Clayton Blackmore. The ultimate jack of all trades, Blackmore could slot in just about anywhere and did exactly that under Fergie. He stayed until 1994, racking up over 200 appearances and even picking up some silverware along the way. Believe it or not, for a short period of time in the mid-2000s, Blackmore was a manager in Wales with Bangor City and Porthmadog. He's still active in football, working with young players and regularly involved in Man United fan events. Remy Moses. A tough, reliable midfielder who had the trust of Ron Atkinson and earned a place in Ferguson's first lineup. Sadly, a knee injury cut his career short in the late 80s, just as he was hitting his prime. After football, Moses was a property dealer in Greater Manchester and coached the Manchester Warriors under-20 inline hockey team, who had just dominated the league and won every major trophy. These days, he keeps a quiet life, though he's spoken publicly about how hard it was to leave the game so early. Frank Stapleton. Big name signing from Arsenal, known for his aerial presence and leadership on the pitch. He saw out a few more seasons at Manchester United before turning to coaching with spells at Bradford City, New England Revolution in America, and even a short time as the assistant manager for the Jordan international team. Also randomly, his second cousin is popular Irish actor Barry Keoghan. Peter Davenport. Brought in to fill the Mark Hughes-shaped hole in Man United's attack with a strong reputation from Nottingham Forest. He scored some important goals, but never quite won the fans over, and then shortly moved on to Middlesbrough. He's since managed a few non-league clubs and mentors young strikers at Albistston Town. Peter Barnes. Once a wonder kid at rivals Manchester City, Barnes arrived at Man United with flair and pace but couldn't quite settle. He moved on after a couple of seasons and bounced around a lot of clubs, both in England and abroad, not making too many appearances either. After retiring, Barnes took on various jobs, including selling insurance, managing a pub, and working in turf and land clearance industries. He later moved into media, working as a radio analyst and Premier League pundit in Malaysia, with an authorised biography released in 2021. Jesper Olsen. The Danish winger didn't get on in Fergie's debut game, but was still very much in the mix at that point. He left the club in 1989 after some injury issues and returned to Denmark to finish out his career. Since retiring, Olsen's lived in Australia and founded the Fun Football Group, which later became part of the Football Star Academy, where he served as director of coaching. After surviving a serious brain hemorrhage in 2006, he returned to mentoring young talent and helping connect Australian players with clubs across Europe. And finally, Sir Alex Ferguson. From that miserable start at Oxford to lifting the Premier League and Champions League, Sir Alex rebuilt the Red Devils from top to bottom. Or you could say bottom to top, because they were second bottom when he took over. He may not have won his first game until the 22nd of November in '86, but once the momentum started, there was no stopping it. It took a few seasons, a few close calls, and a lot of pressure, but the rest is football history. So there it is, Ferguson's very first Manchester United 11. A squad full of honest pros, club servants, and a few who'd soon make way for the legends to come. Every dynasty has to start somewhere, and this was step one for Sir Alex Ferguson. Thanks for watching, and let us know what you want us to cover in our next Where Are They Now video.